Let's talk about the roll cast on the backcast. Seems like just an endless variety of different types of casts you can use in different situations. I was on Putah Creek in Northern California with guide Happy Nguyen of Goodwater Fly Fishing. We talked about the roll cast and the times that he's using that and the way he uses that on that technical water.
Here at Putah Creek, if you look around, there's a lot of bushes and trees behind you. So it's kind of hard to kind of pick up your line, make a back cast, and then forward cast to complete your cast. So the best way to kind of present your flies is what we call a roll cast. So basically what a roll cast is, or when a roll cast is handy, is when you're in situations like this where there's no back cast. So in order to do a roll cast, what you like to do is you're picking up your rod tip, and you want your rod tip to be vertical. That way you're using the full length of your rod to pick up all that line off the water. You also want to be careful not to take your flies out of the water, because the flies being in the water is what holds the tension between your line and the water. So we want to go straight up with our rod tip, get your arm up as high as you can, and you want to be able to have some tension in your line. If you don't have any tension, your cast will fall apart. So you want to have some tension by keeping your flies in the water, but you don't want to keep your flies in the water for too long, otherwise your flies will sit there and sink down to the bottom, making it harder for you to pick up those flies out of the water. So you want to get that rod tip up, arm up as high as you can, get this nice D-loop to form in your rod or in your line to load the rod, and then push it out there. So come up and come down. Biggest mistake people make while doing a roll cast is a couple things. One, they'll kind of sidearm cast it. When you pick up your rod tip right here, you're not clearing much line off the water, so now you just have a lot of water resistance that you're trying to fight to pick up that line. So by getting that rod tip up, you pick up a majority of that line off the water, and now you're able to have less water resistance to make that cast. Another mistake is a lot of people will get that rod tip up, but they'll come back too far with their rod tip. They'll lower their rod tip on their back behind them, and that will also allow all that line to sit in the water instead of being able to be out of the water to have less water resistance. Key to the roll cast is rod tip up, tension in your line, and flies just underneath the surface so that it holds that tension. We call that, what we call that by keeping the flies in the water is called an anchor point. So you kind of want to have that anchor point to support your tension in your line. Get your arm up, get that D in the line, and then use that tension off the water to make your roll cast.
I spent a fantastic day with Happy Nguyen of Goodwater Fly Fishing. Learned a ton of stuff. He guides right here on Putah Creek, as well as the American River, the Feather River, and Sacramento River. Walk and wades here, as well as does that drift boat in some of the other areas. Let us know. We'll put you in touch with him, and we'll see you right here next time on the Backcast.